Welcome back to the table. Continue our play of Old School Tactical Volume 2, Hedgerow Clash Scenario, the Americans taking on the Germans in defense. We're getting ready to start turn 2. And our turn sequence, we've moved our turn marker. It is now on 6. Remember, we start at 7, and this game counts them down. Also remember, the U.S. has access to a barrage starting this turn. This is what our map looks like. Well, what it will look like anyway. That's what it looks like. Helps to turn on the camera when you're getting ready to record something. For you beginners out there, which includes me. Okay, so this is where we're at. The Americans have moved up from off the map a little bit. Germans moved a couple of folks, didn't move around a whole lot. So our next step, reinforcements, we have none. Possibility next turn, Germans get their tank. The Americans get their tank. No smoke counters, don't have any scenario rolls. Free rally and bog rolls. Now we do have one of those. Remember, guy here got shaken, the one with the mortar is shaken. He was broken, but we did that free. Well, free. They call it free, but it cost an impulse point. But so he went from broken to shaken. So he's now shaken. To get out of a shaken status, you need to roll a 7 or better. That's not the gut check number, but it just happens to be the same number for this scenario. But removing broken status requires a 9. Removing shaken status requires a 7 or better. So we want to get to 7. Now he does have the leader, so basically he needs a 6 or better. And he did not make that, so he is still shaken. Now, shaken means he's got half firepower and half movement. So it's got a firepower of 2 and a movement of 2. It also affects your mortar. Okay, so we look back at our next step. Initiative roll and then the impulse roll, and then we'll start our play. So initiative roll. Blue are the Germans. And my goodness, yes, they have the initiative. And impulse rolls. Remember, the Germans are 2d6 and the Americans are 2d6 plus 4. So the Germans are 8 and the Americans are 10. No, 11. So they are 11. Okay, so I've got the impulse markers put on 8 for the Germans and 11 for the Americans. And the Germans have the initiative, so they get to move first. And what will they do? What will they do? I don't believe we have much to shoot at over here other than right here. We've got 2 degrading hex. Orchards are degrading and also offer, I believe they're in orchard, also offer a +1 bonus, defense bonus. So that shot would basically take 2 degrading, I don't think would just be a very good shot. I don't think that would help much. Because degrading basically lowers your firepower, I believe. I'm going to look at that real quick. A -1 to firepower for each degraded hex the attack passes through, up to a maximum of -2. And the third degrading terrain blocks line of sight. So if he wanted to take that shot, basically he's got a 2 firepower, so it's going to be reduced to, against a 5 defense. So it'd be a -3 shot. I think he will not. I'm talking about this guy here. I don't think he's going to take the shot. These guys still have that LMG shot, but you're still talking about a dude. I believe we decided that crossed the close. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it crosses that. Most definitely. So it'd be a +2 defense here. So it'd be like a 4 or 6. Oh, and he's in there, so that's a 7. So it's a minus. I might have messed up on the last time I tried that, actually. Because that's 4, 5, 6, 7 with the 2 shot. That's really on the -5. Ew, I messed up. I didn't look at what terrain he was in last time I took that shot, and we broke him. So I may have messed that up. So that's a -5 shot. I don't think that's much of a shot. Don't know that I want to really need to move anybody. So since they are less, they're 8, so I think they'll just pass. We're going to pass, so it passes to the Americans. What are they going to do? Now, they do have, say, the barrage of artillery, but they really don't see anybody that they could do anything with. You know, just for funsies, let's just see, let's draw a card. Lock and load solo card. See what we get there. Okay, so nobody's within melee range, so they're going to enter melee. Fire, lay smoke, move. So fire, lay smoke, move is the first thing. I think Sergeant Wishick here, he's got a 5, a 9. He probably needs to take that shot. He's going to have a 9 plus +1 die roll modifier against a 4, 5, 6, because this is not degrading terrain. So basically he has a +3 shot. shooting over here against this rifle squad. So we're going to shoot on the +3. He will be fired. So +3 plus 1. Ooh, that's going to kill somebody. Sure enough. +3 with a 12 is an X. That will eliminate that squad, and we need to see on a 1 through 3, the leader will be eliminated. Yes. Okay, they're both eliminated. They go bye-bye. The light machine gun will stay there. Now, that just gave the Americans 3 casualty points, 2 for the full squad, 1 for the leader. When you get 5 casualty points of your opponent, they lose 1. They go -1 on their impulse points. So they're already at 3. So that was a worthwhile shot. Okay, back to the Germans. Let's see, I forgot to move. They're going to move. They were 11. They're at 9 now. So forgot to move them over. The U.S. used 2 impulse points for that, so they're at 9. So the Germans are still at 8. They're still less than. They can still pass. And they see that flank breaking down real quick. I think the sergeant here is going to take his light machine gun and he's going to move. I think he's going to try to move up there to one of those control hexes. Kind of do a last stand kind of maneuver. 1, 2, he can't quite get there. 1, 2, 3, and there's 2 to enter the building, so. Or does he just stay there? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He does have a shot at those guys. It'd be a -2 shot. Because none of this, well, it'd be a -3 because that does give 1 cover, 1 defense. So they would be a 4, a 5. So it would be a -3 shot. Still just not a very good shot. But there's a lot coming at him. It makes him a little bit nervous, I think. The second line could go over there and pick up that machine gun, but they're going to get shot at while doing it. If this is open, 1, 2, 3, he could get there. But he will get shot at. And he's in pretty good cover there. He's kind of waiting for the tank to come by. He's got that Panzerfaust. I think we're going to move move him? 1, 2, 3. He's just going to move right up there. Since he's behind the hedgerows, nobody can see him even at that point. Well, he might well be spotted by this guy. Yes, he is. Not in that hex, but in that hex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is out of the range. Never mind, it's out of the range of everybody. The bar just has a range of 6 also. So he is safely moved to there. That is 1 impulse point. Okay, back to the Americans. Well, with that going on, I think these old boys see that machine gun laying over there. They're going to move that direction. Now, do they want to move? Crossing the Bocage is 2 plus the cost range, so that would be 3 just to get in that hex. So they can make it to there in 4. They're all 4. So I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to spend 2. They're down to 7 now. 1, 2, 3, 4 to get into that hex. And nobody's going to be able to see them because of the Bocage on the other side of the road. So they are moved. Back to the Germans, who have 7, so they are even with the Americans right now. So they have to do something or spend an impulse point to pass. I think we're going to try that what we did last time. Have those guys, no, matter of fact, we're going to try this guy. He's going to try to go into cover there. Build some cover. He's kind of in the open, so he's going to build some cover. He needs a 5 or a 6. He did not get it. So that is 1 impulse point spent for them. They're down to 6. Okay. And that doesn't use him up as fired or moved or anything like that. So used, or that's a free action, what they call it. Okay, back to the U.S. I think these guys kind of want to take advantage of the opening there. And move up. So that would be 2, 3, 4 they could go. 2, 3, 4. I don't think he wants to go in the open like that though. In fact, to probably be in better cover, he probably needs to go over here, because I think that guy can, yeah, he can see into that first hex. So he's going to go here for 3, and then 4, and then he will be used, and that will cost 2 impulse points. They're down to 5. Back to the Germans. Oh boy. I think he's going to try that again. He's going to spend 1, try to get a 6, 5 or 6. Just can't do it. It's not having any luck at all. Okay, so they're down to 5 impulse points. Back to the Americans. Now, what do they want to do? Well, really nobody has really what a good shot. These guys might could. They would have an 8, a 9 against a 4, 5, 6. That 9 will be reduced to 7. I believe that goes to. Oh no, that's right. He's on that. That's on the hex spine, so they can't even see that. They can't even see that unit. And if they move, he's going to be able to see them. But obviously they can't just stand there. I think he's going to take a. He's going to try to relieve his shaken comrade there. So he's going to need a 7 for shaking. So he needs basically a 6 or better. Okay, he's good. He is back up. And again, that doesn't require an action counter, so, but that does end their turn. And that moves them down to 4. Okay, now the Germans are at 5. He's just going to keep doing that. I think that's his best move. He's in a pretty good position there, so he still needs a 5 or a 6. Ah, he got it that time. Okay, so he now has a cover marker. It gives him a +1. And let him down to 4. Okay, the Americans have 4 left. I think these engineers are going to, excuse me, yeah. I think old Sergeant Barnes is going to try to move up. Now, if he moves across here, that'd be 2, 3 to get there. He could just go around. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think that's what he's going to do. I don't think anybody's going to have a shot. He's way too far away. He's just got a range of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and again, even if he sees him, he doesn't have range. Ah, something in my throat here. And he's just going to move there for 4. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And that's him moved. And that costs 2. They have 2 impulse points left. Now, so he can't even see there because of the hindrances. Have more than 2. Sniper could see it, but I mean, we're talking about a really poor shot. He's got a 2 shot. If he only shot at the leader, it would increase it to 4, but then it's going to be reduced to 2, and then that leader would have a 6, so it'd be a -4 shot. So I don't see them. I mean, most of them have pretty good positions. So I think next we're going to have these guys try to improve their position. So they need a 5 or a 6. to get their cover in that house. And they did not get it. So that's moves them down to 3. U.S. forces, where are they going to go? He really, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. You can see in there, but he still can't. Too far away. He can't see there. I'm talking about these guys. They can't see there. Nor they don't even know there's a sniper there yet. So I think they just have to move. Now they have 2 impulse points left, so they can move both of these guys one at a time, or they can move this whole stack at once. I think it would be better to move these guys up, because that way if something does happen, they'll at least be within 1 hex of that leader in case they have to rally or something. So we're going to spend 1 impulse point and move up 1, 2, and 3. And he's moved. Back to the Germans. They're going to do the same thing. He's going to try to improve his position. So again, he needs a 5 or 6. Nope. That cost 1 there, down to 2. Yes, has 1 left. These engineers with the satchel are going to do the same thing. They're going to move up to here. So, tweezers just don't pick up everything. So, everybody's there. Moved, and that will finish the Americans' impulse. Okay, so the Germans still have 2 left. Yeah, think about moving these guys like down to there, because he will not be able to see them at all because of the bocage. And they can't even see there. This guy, there's not even line of sight in there. So I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to spend 1 impulse and move 2 to there. That will make him moved. Americans have none left. Back to the Germans to spend their last one. And they're going to try one more time, they're going to try one more time. Get an improved position. So that spends their last. So he still needs a 5 or a 6. No. No 5s or 6s. Okay, so that gets them down to the end of the turn. And if we go look at our end of turn, we have extended play check, end of game. Okay, so we don't have any of that. So we are going to next thing would be to advance the turn marker. Now this time, this is turn 5. So remember, for our scenario, U.S. has an opportunity to get this guy on the board. And they need, I believe, a 5 or a 6, correct? Let me check. A 5 or 6 is successful and the tank may enter. So that comes under the technically I mean, it's kind of both. It's reinforcements, but it's also this the scenario rolls. I mean, you have to roll for it. So, so we're going to roll for the reinforcements. So that's what we're going to do. They need a 5 or a 6. Okay, they can come in. Now, the question being, where do I want them to come in? And I think I see a pretty good spot, like right in here. And he's going to come in this guy's back door. And let's see, does wheat field cost 2 for a track vehicle, but no bog check? Just trying to look at. Yeah, I think that's a perfect spot for him coming, because he's going to be, because of this bokeh, he's going to be shielded from any of these guys. That guy's got a Panda Shrek, but they just have a range of 2. So this is where the tank's going to come in. Okay, let's go back to our sequence. So we did reinforcements, attacks, leaders, and weapons. Okay, let's see. One thing we do have to do is clumsy fingers. Let's move all these guys off. And I haven't forgotten about the US OBA. It may be using it this tournament. Got it out here on the board here to remind me. Okay, attach leaders and weapons. Do we want, I think we're going to switch around and put this leader with the squad carrying the mortar. Everybody else is pretty much good, I think. Free rally bog rolls. Nobody is bogged. Nobody is shaken or broken. Initiative rolls. That'd be the next step. And 8. Okay, Germans still have the initiative. And then next is going to be our impulse rolls. Germans have 10, and the Americans are going to have 13. So get that set up. 13 and 10 for the Germans. Okay. So that has us set up. Next is impulse rolls, play turns. Okay, so the Germans have the initiative. And this little boy here, he hears some tracks on the ground up in front of him. Makes him just a tad nervous. Just a tad nervous. And there, after he went through all that trouble to build up his cover. I'm afraid that +1 against that tank's not going to help him much. So he can move back this direction. He can't move in with the sniper because the sniper can't stack with anybody. Can't move in there because there are already 2 people in there, 2 squads in there. Oh, he's kind of in a world of hurt. He can come over this way, but when he gets here, he's going to be in the line of fire of that, just wide open. He may just have to make his bed and stay there, huh? Well, the other thing he can do is shoot, but again, he got two hindrances. That would be a 4. That would be a 2 against a 5. It would be a -3 shot. I wonder, they've got a movement of 3. He may want to, little boy yelled at him, says, there's a tank coming, so he may want to get his panterfaust down here a little closer. I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to move. He's kind of in there on the road. He's got a panterfaust. He is going to move there for 1, and immediately, I don't think anybody can do anything. Engineers don't have the range. Their range is 6. They don't have the range. So he's going to scoot on down. He's going to move there for 3. And he's moved. Okay, and that cost 1 impulse point. They are now at 9. Americans have 13 impulse points. What do they want to do first? I think he may just want to move that tank right in there. Move him right in there close. So tank's going to move in here for, that's 1. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. Well, at least that way he can shoot that direction somewhat. Okay, so he's moved. That cost 1. They're down to 12. Oh. I think before anything more serious happens, Sergeant Roner, whatever his name is, Roner, he's going to take his squad and move into the control building. Now, which hex does he want to go to? I think If they move in here, the part of the rule system in this game is if you're in the building, the only hexes you can see on from the bocage is these two. Now, if you're here through the bocage, then you can see everything out here. But the building, the only places you can see or be attacked from would be the hexes directly adjacent to the structure. So I think he's going to have a little bit more field of view from over here. At least he can kind of see down this area and over this way. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to move there. For 2, that cost 1 impulse. They're down to 8. He is moved. Okay. I think this old tank here, he's moved. I think he is going to fire. So first we're just going to shoot the machine guns. They have as you see, they have a firepower of 2, range of 6. So he's got a 2-shot. That gives the 4 plus the cover is a 5. So he's got a -3 shot at those guys. And that is going to use him up. Well, he's still going to fire his main armor at 2, but just so, and that cost 1, so they're down to 11. Okay, so he's got a 2 firing at 5, so he's got a -3 shot. 9 on the -3, still uses the infantry fire table. 9 on the -3, that is a shaken result. So the gut check number for the Germans is a 7. So he needs a 7 or better. He's good. Now, firing the main weapon. And I want to make sure or at least try to make sure that I do this somewhat correctly. His HE firepower is 3 at a range of 20. And since he's not firing at a vehicle, we don't have to have, it's not an AP fire, so you don't really have a, I'm hoping I'm doing it right, you don't have to have a 2-hit for HE firepower. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's the way I've been playing it. So he's got a 3, again, firing at a 5, so he's got a -2 shot. A -2 shot. And 9 on the -2, I'm sure that's going to be a result. 9 on the -2 is a broken. So he still needs to make a gut check of 7 or better. Oh boy, he's smoking them now. Okay, so Americans have used that. They're down to 11. And the Germans are at 8. Don't see that they have a reason to do much at this point. So he is again going to try to improve his cover over here. Spend 1, so they're down to 7. He needs a 5 or a 6 to do so, and he still didn't do it. Just not enough debris there to then reinforce his position. Okay, so back to the Americans who have 11. And I'm going to let's see. Think about moving these folks here. Where would be a good position? He's got the mortar in there with him. Where would be a good position for that mortar to be? Needs to get out from behind these hindrances. Oh, let's see. Or do we want to bring these boys up? You have to close in on them. Get close, I guess. I think that we're going to spend one. He's down to 10 now. And we're going to move, this engineer's just, he's going to move over here. He's going to close in on this rifle company, the one without the satchel. He's going to move there for one. Now that rifle company has to ponder if he wants to shoot right now or wait. If it goes into here, they can't see each other. He's going to wait, so he's going to go ahead and go in there. He's going to move there for 2. He has now moved. And he is going to fire. Okay, so he's got a 4, and he is shooting at a 4. No, that's a shame. Their defense is 4, yeah. Their movement is 3. Okay, I'll make sure I get the numbers correct. He got a 5 firepower though. So he's got a 4 firepower. Got a 4 defense, plus the bocage, going to make it 6, plus the orchard is going to make it 7. So, 4 against 7, he has a -3 shot. -3 shot. That's going to hurt, pretty sure. 12 on the -3. No, doesn't hurt terribly bad, but it does hurt. 12 on the -3 is going to be a casualty and a shaken. So this engineer is reduced, and that will give a casualty point to the Germans. And he needs to roll a gut check, 7 or better, to not be broken. He's not, so he is broken. Broken and moved. He's pretty much done. Okay. Now, since he was in the action of movement and he had only expended 2, the fire interrupted it. So basically, it stays with the the Americans. If he had, and even if he had, obviously if he had finished his move and then the fire, so either way. If this fire, let's say he had moved 2 and this fire had no effect, and then he didn't move anymore, then it, or then it'd go back to the Germans. But it stays basically, when the Germans have their shot, now it's going back to the Americans. That's just part of the rule system. So, I think these guys are going to spend 2 moving points, so that's going to take them down to 8. And he's going to move there for 1. Now he has to decide if he wants to take that shot through 2 degrading hexes, which is going to be basically end up being a 2-shot against a 4, because he's in the open. So that's a -2. Yeah, I think he has to do that. Well, that's going to use him up. That's going to take their impulse down to 6. So he's going to have a -2 shot. 4. This will be 3, 2, and then against a 4. So a -2 shot. Five on a -2 is probably going to be nothing. Yeah. 5 on a -2 is a nothing. So nothing happens there. He's moved. Should have used my little dice there. What did he do? Where did he start out? There? Dadgummit. Well, he's not going to move any further than there anyway. So. Okay, so he's gonna move there. He's moved. Does he want to take a shot? He's got a light machine gun. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the second line can't shoot there, but these guys can. That'd be a 4 and a 6 against a 6, basically. You get 4 plus the hedgerow. So it'd be an even shot with the +1 die roll modifier because of the leader. So he got to take that shot. So he's going to spend 1. They're down to 5. He is fired. Okay, so I think just for funsies, I'm going to go ahead and roll the green die just in case they do get a break or shaking or whatever. Don't need it, don't need it. Okay, what do we say? An even shot? 4, 6? Yes, even shot plus a +1 on the blue die. So 5, 6. The 6 on the even is shaken, just barely. 6 on the even is shaken. They rolled a 6, which is not higher or equal to their gut check number, so they are indeed shaken. And that would be the most dangerous squad of the bar company, the bar squad. So let's put a shaken marker on the bar. And I do apologize, I forget you. Actually, if it's more than one target in there, you're supposed to announce your target. I will always shoot at the most deadly squad if there's more than one in there. Okay, so everybody's moved. The bar squad is shaken. Germans have used their turn. They've down to 5. Oh, crap. Can't remember if I deducted that or not. Okay, so let's do this. I wonder if firing back at them is going to do much good. They've got a 4. That would be a 2. That would be a half, so we have to round those down, I believe. You have a 6 shot against a 4. Five. They never did improve it, so it would. So that's probably what they're going to do. They've got a full strength squad, or good order squad, with a 4 firepower at range 6, so they're in range. And they have a shaken squad that has half their firepower, so it gives them a 2. So that's a 6. A 6 firepower against a 4 and a 5. Let me double check. That's a wooden building, so it's a light structure. Yes, it's a +1 defense. So a 6 against a 5, that is a +1 with a +1 die roll modifier. +1 on the green. Nine, so that's going to be a 10 on the +1. That's going to hurt. That's going to be a casualty and a broken, and he only rolled a 4, as you see, so he did not pass that part of it. So, again, this is the most dangerous. So, they are casualty reduced, and let's move up our casualty deal to 4 for the American side. And they're broken. So let's put them underneath the second line squad. Let's see. We'll make sure I did that right. Yeah, broken. Okay. Okay, so we got the broken group down there. They're fired. They've moved. I think I messed up. I believe since they had moved, I believe that takes, is that a die roll modifier or moving fire? Yeah, it's a -1. So they would have had a +1 for the leader, a -1 for moving. So we had a 9. So it's a shaken, right? Yeah, gotta go through all the math in my head again here. A 4, a 5, 6. 6 against a 5. It was a +1, and they ended up with a 9. So yeah, it's a shaken instead of broken. Glad I caught that. So we'll go back. They're shaken. Still casualty. They're still casually reduced, 9 on the casually / shaken, but they are not broken. They're shaken. Shaken, not stood. Okay, that was probably a little bit of an awkward transition, but had a camera battery go dead. So what I was going to do, and talked a little bit before I realized the camera had actually died, we're going to take our second shot over here. So these guys have the leader. They've got a 3, and then these guys are going to be half, so they've got 4, so 2, so you got a 5 total. It costs them 2 impulse, so it takes them down to 2. We have a 5 against a 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 for the bocage, 1 for the orchard. So 5 against the 7 is a -2 shot. That's what we're going to be taking. -2. And I'll just go ahead and throw the green ones just in case they break or something. That way we'll have it there anyway. Okay, -2. 11, and it's going to be a 12 with the leader. So a 12 on the -2 is probably going to bring something up here. 12 on the -2 is a casualty and a broken. And I believe they're already reduced, if I recall. So they're already broken. You can't get 2 brokens, but they are reduced, so they are eliminated. So they're eliminated. That gives the Germans another up to 2 for their casualty, and then they are used. Okay, back to the Americans have 5 impulse points remaining. And it's going to be pretty safe for that, for him to move. He's going to move 1, 2. It'll be 1 impulse point. Takes him down to 4. He is moved. Back to the Germans. They have 2 impulse points left. And I think we're going to have the sniper use 1 impulse and try to improve his position. Give him a little extra defense. So needs a 5 or a 6. I did not get it. Back to the Americans. I have 4 impulse points left. I think Sergeant Wishick over here needs to move himself up. Maybe he can give a little help. He has squad with the bar and another squad, so that would take 2 impulse points for them to move, so they're down to 2. I think they're just going to move right there for 2. Germans have 1 left. Probably the only thing going on here is the second line guy. He's going to go ahead and take a shot at these folks that move, so that's going to use their last impulse point. He has a firepower of 3 against a 4 and a 2. Wheatfields. Do Wheatfields give Yes, they give a +1. So 4, 2 for the bocage, +1, so 7. So 3, it's a -4 shot. That's not a very good shot, but that's about all he's got to take. So he is fired. And a -4 shot. 4 on a -4 is going to be absolutely nothing. So that will kill that one. So the Germans are out of impulse. Americans have 2. And I think we're going to use one of them to take a shot right here. He has a firepower of 5. He's not going to use the satchel. I think he's going to save that. So he's going to have firing 5. And I bet you I missed something else last time. Yeah. Wouldn't have made any difference. But okay, these has a firepower of 5. They have a defense of 4, 5, 6, 7 for the bocage. So their total defense is 7. He's got a 5. He's got +1 for being adjacent and a -1 because he moved. We got a 5 shooting at a 7, right? Is that what I said? 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. So a -2 shot. Uh, 4 on a -2 is going to be nothing, as you can see. You need to have at least a 7 to get anything. So he is used. Germans again have nothing left. The Americans have 1. So I think either move them. Well, I only got 1, so I'm going to move one squad, not 2. Think about moving one of these to go over here and grab that machine gun, but it puts him, put him out of reach for the leadership bonus should something happen to him. But I think that's what it's going to do. This bottom guy here is going to spend the last impulse point and move 2 to there. And he hasn't picked it up yet. He'll pick it up at the start of the turn. When you possess a support weapon, it goes underneath your counter. Same as the counter underneath the leader. That's who that leader is attached to. Okay, so that will end turn 5. We have the tank on. We have still not used the OBA, and I've zoomed in a little bit so it's not visible, but it's still there. Still on the board to remind me. They'll probably use it maybe this round, because I think they've got the ability to see some folks now, so have a little better shot at them. Okay, so that will end turn 5. So we've finished basically turn 7, 6, and 5. In our next video, we will start with turn 4. Thanks for joining me. Again, please, if you see any mistakes, please point them out to me. Appreciate any feedback. And we will see you next time, folks. Thank you very much.